Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers The Last Night Premiere Edition Deluxe Class Cogman. Yes, I got him. I'm so excited. He is here, he is mine, and I am happy. I could not find him in the store in the US, so I went all the way to Chinese eBay to get a copy of him. And this is technically the Hasbro Asia version, even though it's the same thing, though the packaging's a little different. And it comes with two sets of instructions, the standard English ones and some nice, better Mandarin Chinese, I want to say that is. I'm not positive on that, but these instructions are so much nicer than these, just in terms of the texture and the feel and the look. I just needed to point that out because I thought that was notable. But anyway, we have Cogman here, who is a car in this form. However, he still has his headmaster form, his tiny little headmaster form that actually appeared in the film. And he was called out to be a headmaster, even though we never saw him turn into a head or turn into anybody's head, even though Nitro Zeus is compatible with the Titan Masters, so presumably it was part of a plot thread that never happened but still made into the toys. I don't know, that would have been cool or something. But anyway, let's take a closer look at this tiny robot butler. And as you can see, his face is very accurate to how he looked in the movie, however, very not painted, which makes it less accurate. His face, his torso, and the entirety of his legs are in this like grayish plastic that is all completely unpainted, and then the arms are painted in a very nice gray with like shading and all that stuff. And whoops, I dropped Cogman. But the arms are very nice, and then on the back you get his very, very nice painted headmaster form. Very nice silver paint, blue eyes, gold going around there. That looks really cool. If they were able, I know they probably couldn't for how tiny that body is, but if they were able to put those details, paint those details up, that would have looked so freaking cool. I tell you, that would have been so cool. Though the backs of his legs are also painted just to give like the entire head mode like a completeness to it. For articulation, he has standard Titan Master articulation. He is effectively a Titan Master just in the Transformers The Last Night toy line, but we'll get into a bit more about that in a bit. But his head does rotate a full 360 degrees. It does have a little bit of back and forth and a little bit of side to side. The arms are able to bend that far forward and only that far back because of the face, and they are able to bend that far out, and the legs are able to bend that far forward and that far back, and the knees can bend that far back and that far forward. And to transform him into his head mode, you just collapse him in half, and there you have him in his head mode, which is, again, very nicely painted. That's all there is for Cogman himself. So now let's take a look at his body. In terms of Transformers lore, this is not a separate character like the Titans Return toy lines have been, like with the Headmaster being a separate character from the actual body they connect with. No, this is more along the lines of the Japanese version of the Headmasters, where the bodies were just units that were controlled by the tiny Headmasters. So they were just lifeless shells that the Headmasters controlled. Sorry. But this body is based on the Aston Martin DB11, which did appear in the film as one of the 3 escape cars that Cogman did drive. So that's pretty nice, and it looks really cool. I gotta say, look at that body. Look at that body, that nice silver, the black streaks going on there. Nice black bumper, translucent headlights, translucent window. I mean, that's clear. That's straight up clear windows, clear headlights, nice silver paint on the rims, a nice little black Autobot logo right there, solid silver body, a little bit of red picking out the taillights, and black on the back bumper as well. And then underneath you get a preview of Cogman's robot form. Yeah, that's about. He also has nice black rear view mirrors. It's a very, very neat touch. He has 4 wheels and he's able of rolling on them pretty nicely. And this is able to open by lifting the roof. lifting the roof all the way up. You can sit Cogman in here, and actually, unlike the Titan's Return toy line, you can actually fit 2 Titan Masters in here. So we got the cockpit, we got the driver's seat, and we got the passenger seat in here. And as is for a British car, the passenger seat wheel is on the left. There is a lot of nice detailing in here. Let's take a pause to look at the bits of detailing going on here. The most notable things are the steering wheel and then the not steering wheel, and things that are kind of supposed to represent seats. There are 2, it's going to be hard to mold, actually only one Titan Master port right there that will plug into the bottom of a given Titan Master's foot. And once I get it in there, I'll try to get it on score. I mean, as on point, the roof doesn't really get out of the way well enough, but you can do it. So it's a little tricky, especially since there's only the one peg to get in. There we are. We got Cogman in there. And then let's get Chrome Dome out here and Stylor out here and show off that the passenger seat works just as well. And there you go. And you just close that back up, and then they are driving in the car. Very nice. That's very, very cool. I like that. I really, really like that they can do that. Again, very British because it's on the driver's wheel is on the right side. But regardless, it is very, but even though it's accurate, it's very, very cool. He also comes with an accessory. He does come with a sword. This is pretty much molded on the Excalibur sword that Kate Yeager had in the film, silver painted handle and black hilt. And it is able to store on the vehicle mode. There is a tab in the back right here, and there is a slot on the handle right there. So you'll just plug that in, and then that basically becomes an extra exhaust port, I guess. I don't know, but it doesn't stick out too much. It sticks out a little bit, but it's pretty fine, and it sits there in their storage. So that's cool. And and now let's get on to some size comparisons. So here he is next to Legends Class Bumblebee. And you can see how well he scales. Actually, we need to get Cogman out here to show off how well he scales too. You can see that. Here he is next to a Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. You can see that Cogman's body is a bit longer than Chrome Dome. We've got Voyager Class Megatron. And you can see that Megatron is a bit longer. And then we got Leader Class 6-Shot. And you can see that right there. Hello. All right, so now we're done with looking at the alternate mode. So let's roll right along to the robot mode. So we're going to take Cogman off to the side, and then we are going to take the sword off of the body, and then we're going to flip down this chest piece just to get it out of the way. I'm going to flip this up to get it out of the way. There's no real reason for those to move except to give clearance to the ground. If there wasn't a clearance issue, I'm sure those pieces of transmission would not exist, but they are necessary for clearance, or else the car is not going to roll at all. So we are going to detach the roof and fold it back like so. Then we're going to flip the bumper forward, and we're going to lift the hood, the hood of the car, or as the Brits would say, bonnet. I believe it's the bonnet. Fold that in, and then we'll come to the sides, untab the sides like so, and move them down out of the way. We're gonna pull that up, we're gonna rotate that around, and then we're gonna slide that back in, and it's gonna all just tap into place very nice and secure like. We'll come back here now and untab the back section, completely collapse the roof onto the back windscreen, and then just fold that up, and that's all gonna sit on the backpack. Then we can come down here to the legs, fold that out, fold that down, and then collapse that panel in and just collapse it to the back of the leg. Doesn't really tab anywhere, all that security just kind of sits there, more so. Of note, I'm going to say, because of how the transformation works, the feet are weird. As you can see, this foot is complete, but this one's not complete, and it's got like a slit tilt in it. So that's necessary for how they made the transformation, but unfortunately, it makes them a bit unstable in robot mode. But we'll get to that when we get to the finish getting to the robot mode. So finish transforming the leg on the other side, and then we come over here. We'll flip out the fists, untab that section from the front, and then just fold that panel down and fold that out to the side a little bit. Do that on the other side, fold that down, fold the fist out, flip that panel down, move the shoulder, and we are good. All we have to do is come in, get Cogman, and put him on the head of his body. And there you have Cogman in his robot mode, and he looks very, very nice. A little bit more paint on the thighs would have been appreciated and would have made this so much better. But besides that, he looks gorgeous. Like, again, these would have also been nice, but they're pretty much covered up by these shoulder panels, so I don't have a problem with that. It's the thighs that bother me the most. But taking a closer look, we already saw his head going on to the chest. We got a nice silver paint going on there, a little bit of black dustiness to give him a little age, a little bit of black on the gears on his chest, gold and black paint picking out his center abs, and a little bit of gunmetal gray picking out bits of the crotch. Again, the upper thighs are very plain, but the lower legs have that silver paint going on with a little bit of gunmetal gray, black, and gold picking out some details here and there. The feet just have like some gunmetal gray blackness going on to like pick out those details a little bit. The arms are very much painted in that, have a very much swirly black silver color going on with gold lines picking it out. The arms are admittedly pretty plain, though there is the gold to pick them out to make them a little bit stand out more than the upper arms do. And then you just got doors on the sides. And then you just see all of the car stuff going on the back. For articulation, once Cogman's head is all the way in, his head does not pop out. Well, it can, but his head can rotate a full 360 degrees. Not really a lot of bobbing back and forth, but a little bit of side to side. The arms can rotate a full 360 degrees. They get, thanks to a hinge joint right there, they are able to bend out that far. These shoulder panels can just hinge however you want them to get them out of the way or whatnot. There is a bicep swivel allowing 360 degrees of rotation there. 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. The wrist, due to transformation, allows it to bend in like that, which normally would not be useful, but I'm just going to bring this out quickly. With the sword, allows him to like point the sword forward and like just do that kind of a thing with the wrist instead of just being forced to stay like this. He can do that a bit, so that's neat. And I actually use that transformation joint a fair bit while playing with him. Nothing at the waist. The legs are able to bend that far forward and that far back. There is a thigh swivel allowing for 360 degrees of rotation. There is a knee bend at that gives him a 90-degree angle bend, and then the feet are able to pivot in and not so much pivot back, and there's not any ankle tilt or anything going on. But again, the feet are different. This one's completely flat. This one's got a bit of a tilt to it. There is a bit of a heel there, but like it does admittedly cause him to be a little harder to balance than some other Transformers. So that is something to note. And again, he comes with a sword. He can hold it in his hand. He can point it forward like he's about to charge, or he's raising up a sword to summon the powers of the Thundercats. There we go. Yeah, that's the joke I was trying to make. Admittedly, though, I don't think there is any storage. The main storage point has been transformed, so you can only have him hold it in his hand. But that is all there is to say on Cogman in his robot mode. So now let's get on to some robot mode size comparison. Here he is next to Legends class Bumblebee, and you can see Bumblebee comes up to just about the top of that like giant circle in Cogman's belly. Then we have Deluxe class Chrome Dome, and Cogman's just a hair shorter than Chrome Dome is, as you can see. Just a little bit shorter. Here he is next to Voyager class Megatron, and he comes up just to the bottom of Megatron's gray chest plate. Here he is next to Leader class Six Shot. If this Six Shot will stand, which he doesn't like to. He comes up to like the top third of that skirt panel of his. Just angle that up a little bit so you can see just to the top of that bottom of that top third skirt panel. And of course, here he is next to the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack, and you can see how he looks next to them. So yeah, all in all, Cogman is a really nice figure. He is so cool. He's so great. I kind of wish we saw this huge body in the movie, but it still looks very good to what we did see in the movie. Only complaints I could say are, I mean, the backpack's a little backpacky, but it's not the worst I've seen from movie toys. It's a bit atrocious, but it cleans up relatively nicely. Only other things I can say about it is, like, admittedly, I didn't expect there to be a lot of paint to pick out the details on just the headmaster robot body, just the head's robot body. That would have been nice. I didn't necessarily expect that to happen. The only paint applications I would have preferred are the paint details on the legs. That would have brought out just that little bit of like the black, just bringing out those details. That would have probably made that look a lot better. Just instead of this just going cool detailing, bland, cool paint detailing. But that's all that's what I gotta say about Cogman. I think he's definitely worth retail price. I did pay more than retail price for him, and when I got him, I was like, that's worth it. And I don't necessarily think he was worth $31 I spent on him, but he's definitely a cool figure to pick up, and if you get the chance, I definitely recommend it. He's definitely worth retail price, probably a little bit more. Maybe 31 bucks was a little much, but I'm content with that purchase. But that is all I have to say on Cogman, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack's signing off.